aerospace and defense manufacturing,
machines and automation,
additive manufacturing,
smart manufacturing,
global manufacturing economy.
Hello, and welcome to Advanced Manufacturing Now, the podcast for manufacturing professionals. I'm your host, Steve Plumb, Editor-in-Chief for SME Media. And I'm joined today by Jake Volcsko, who is the Vice President of Integrated Media for SME Media. Jake, thanks for joining me, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I'm excited to be here. I've been with SME. It'll be 2 years next month, and this is actually my first time on the episode or on the podcast. So I'm excited to get started and excited to talk about the Manufacturing and Engineering Technology magazine.
Yeah, well, it's exciting news for both of us. We've been at it for a while, working on this, but it's the official launch of the new Manufacturing, Engineering, and Technology magazine. So it was several months in the making, and even longer from a discussion standpoint. But the inaugural issue went to press last week in the middle of July, and should start arriving at homes and offices and online by late July, early August. So, Jake, what are you most excited about now that it's here?
What I'm most excited about is that moment when it comes in the mail and I get to crack it open. I think a lot of people, if you know me, I'm big on the digital end of thing, and I love technology and all of that. But as my family will tell you, I also love my print magazines, and I can't just wait for it to get here. And we've really built the magazine around the idea that we want it to serve a wider audience. We've done the two magazines traditionally, Manufacturing Engineering and then Smart Manufacturing. And what we wanted to do was really bring those together in a cohesive magazine. For one reason is we know, we preach about it all the time. We've got a traditional manufacturing and smart manufacturing. They need to merge at some point. And we realized, hey, we're just part of the problem by separating the two. So that serves one purpose. I think the other purpose it serves is that it gives the advertisers and the readers one place to get all of the information that they want on what's going on in manufacturing, whether that's traditional, CNC welding, whatever it is, and then your smart manufacturing and additive and all those different things. And rather than keeping them separate, it seemed just to make sense. So I'm excited for that. And the other piece that really excites me, SME as a nonprofit, we've been around for over 90 years now, and what we really wanted to do is make this a showcase for the organization as well. So I think what you'll see inside the magazine is articles from our CEO Janine Coons, as well as other areas of the organization, including myself. As Steve, I fancy myself a writer. I didn't say good writer. And each Friday I send the team here a note that I think is always at least a little fun. And I'm going to do a little bit more of that in the new magazine, including in the August issue. And, really, we want to give the readers a reason to come back to the magazine and tie it more closely to SME and what we stand for as a nonprofit and a leader in this industry that is really just, we want to push technology forward. We want to make sure we're equipping manufacturers with workforce development tools and just whatever it is that they need.
And not only did you write a column for this issue, there was also a couple of interesting illustrations in the issue, one of yourself and one of the new digital team, which fits in well with what we're doing overall from SME Media's standpoint. So the launch of the magazine follows the relaunch of our website, advancedmanufacturing.org, last year. And it really is an integrated product and platform for all manufacturing news and content, and really a resource for the audience. Talk a little bit more about the digital accelerator program and how that fits in, and some of the new aspects of the magazine, such as Digital First, which is debuting in August as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, you'd have to be living under a very large rock to not know that print media, magazines, newspapers, whatever, they're struggling. We know that our audience is going more digital. We have a core group of folks who absolutely love our print magazine, and we know that it's, one of the, as far as a member benefit of SME, it's still number one and number two, just depending on when we take the survey. But at the same time, print as a platform is shrinking, but it's becoming more premium. So what we need to do is strengthen our digital products, strengthen our digital acumen. So at the beginning of this year, we launched a new project, the Digital Growth Accelerator. We hired a couple folks to come in and help us lead the way on this project, so that there's always the innovator's dilemma that what they talk about, where, oh, how do you change the tires while the car is running, which actually, Steve, is the illustration that we have in there. Well, one way you have to do that, at least in my experience, is you hire a team that isn't responsible for driving that original car. They're there just to figure out that problem. How do you change the tires? That is the problem that they're trying to solve, so that we can continue down the road with our beautiful new magazine, while at the same time building digital pathways, becoming more data informed, and delivering for our partners, whether that partner is a reader or whether that partner is an advertiser, or maybe it's one of the, we do a lot of work with the government institutes and other government entities in academia. And so we just want to make sure that we're serving all of those. And we know in the future that's going to be digital. I say future, but really the present, that's digital. Print, I expect to be there for a very long time. Like I said, it's a premium product. And with that, you have a very premium audience too. So it'll be there for a while, but we're going to need to lean more and more on digital, and that's what the Digital Growth Accelerator is here to do.
You mentioned a couple of things that triggered some questions and comments. So talking about changing the tires as we're building the car, going through that process, definitely was like that, and even more so, almost like a flying car. But building cars is transportation is one of our biggest industries for SME overall, as well as for SME Media, along with aerospace and defense, medical devices, energy and oil, construction. And all of those industries are going through some of the same challenges, as well as introducing really a transformative technologies into their businesses, while competing for the talents out of it, that resources, and trying to shore up the skills gap and workforce shortage, which are key initiatives and critical to SME's mission overall. And that really will be an enhanced focus of the new publication as well. We talk about integrating Smart Manufacturing Magazine with manufacturing engineering and adding the technology to the name. But, in my column this month, I point out that it's not just a name change. It's really the sum of its parts now, where it's all coming together in that how do manufacturers recruit, retain, and train the next generation of workers, and how do they implement the technology, especially the small and mid-sized companies that may not have the resources or the wherewithal to do that. So moving forward, that will be more of a focus of the magazine, and we'll continue to offer Smart Shop Essentials as a complementary in every other issue, which really is a prescriptive guidance for the industry.
Steve, you asked me, and then I've been meaning to ask you, what are you looking forward to most? So when you get that issue or assume you'll get it sometime in July in the next week or so, What are you looking forward to most?
Really just seeing it. And, I've seen it on screen, but I have not seen the print issue yet. And, more what does not only the rest of SME think, but the industry overall, and getting that feedback from the audience, because that's really who we're serving.
And it's funny too, like when we started talking about this over a year ago, and then we really started the process late last year. And um, I'm reminded of that meme about innovation and progress, where we had this really great plan, and it just goes from A to B, and it's just a straight line. And then, Steve, I think back to the last few months, especially as it just gets all these squiggly lines all over the place. And I think that, for in a media sense, this is innovation for us. This is a path forward, and it's part of our digital transformation even. And I think that that path that we're going on right now, and that digital transformation, it actually goes hand in hand with a lot of manufacturers are doing right now, and going through their own digital transformation. And it is not a straight line path, no matter how good you think that plan is. There are going to be detours. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in print, and not on screen as well. It's very exciting, very exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of that, it's definitely a work in progress. As we move forward with the September and October issues, we're already looking at ways to tweak and enhance what we did in August. And it's definitely not our first rodeo, as you pointed out. We've been around for more than 90 years, and we've had publications for nearly that long. And we've changed names. We've changed directions, a little bit, along the way. But another thing that you mentioned was the partnerships. And what was really cool about the August issue is we featured several advertisers that have been longtime partners, and we reprinted some of the original ads that they had from the 1930s, which is
Oh, those are so cool to see. Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, so shout out to the Starrett, Ingersoll, and Norton that participated in that with us, and all of our advertisers for August as well.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny when you look back on that, and you see these three companies. They've been with us for 90 years, and when you're in these walls, you forget how critical what SME has done. Since those tool engineers came together over 90 years ago to do something bigger than themselves. And then you see these partners who have been with us for over 90 years, and you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty special. I've never been anywhere that has had partners for that long. So, and I once worked for a publication that's over 200 years old, and we did not have partners that have been with us that long. So, it is very cool, very special.
Yeah, and not only the companies, but also the people that have been with us over the years, both internally and externally. And one of the feature stories in the August issue is a profile on Dr. Morey from DMG Morey, and really interesting guy, and his history and perspective of the industry, and you're relating it to and how things have changed so much, and what he still wants to accomplish in the next few years.
And that was, I remember meeting him. We were at Rapid when we met him, and others have met him many times. My first time meeting Dr. Morey, and he's a little bit of a rock star in the industry. And our COO, Steve Perhalis, who's been a huge champion of this effort. It was so cool watching him meet Dr. Morey and get so excited about it. And you realize, wow, these are heavy hitters. These are people. They're in our magazine. They're thought leaders who see the value that SME, and by extension manufacturing, engineering, technology brings. So that was that one was awesome, and I'm looking forward to reading that interview, Steve.
At the same time, we continue to promote the next generation, and one of the upcoming special sections of the magazine will be 30 under 30, which we're in the process of finalizing right now. But it's just amazing what those, call them kids, but they're really great young adults who have accomplished so much at such an early age.
Well, we call them kids because, once you reach a certain age, everyone under 30 is a kid. But it's pretty amazing, the 30 under 30 that we highlight each year, and it's become one of our standout sections that we do produce annually. And I think the difference this year, and especially so listeners and in turn readers know that that special section, that 30 under 30, it'll be part of the magazine. So rather than just having it as kind of an extra book, it's going to be embedded into the magazine with everything else that we have. And that's in October. And then I think in November, we do the Aerospace and Defense Manufacturing Industry Report, again, embedded inside of the magazine. Excited to get all of those in the magazine and make them part of the offering that we're bringing to the market.
So we're definitely not going down in size. We're actually there'll be more good content, but with any change like this, there are questions, and on our website we have an FAQ about pretty much anything that anybody can think of. I'm sure there may be.
We may have went overboard, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's for, right?
But with top line, from an advertising standpoint, continue to have great opportunities for companies to partner with us in the magazine, whether or not you're on the traditional manufacturing side or more leaning towards the smart manufacturing side. And from an audience standpoint, I think we're up to what, like 77,000 now.
Yeah, we're up to 77,000, and I think that it's a little up from where we were, and I think that's exciting for a print publication too. We're qualified circulation, and most of our distribution is free, but you do have to be qualified to get it, and to see that growth, and to see that the continued interest in our print publication it's very exciting, and I think it speaks to the power of what we've done for the last 90 years, and we'll continue to do for 90 more, hopefully. I won't be here for the next 90. Age doesn't work that way.
Maybe AI Jake will be around.
Yes, we'll get AI Jake working in here someday. So no, it really is. This is an exciting time, and really, I think if I'm an advertiser, we get asked a lot about print magazine. How do I get an ROI on print? And everybody wants an ROI, and I certainly get that. But I think one of the advantages to print is if I've got a brand and I want to get it in front of an audience that is coming to a print publication to read stories about Dr. Maury, and about, we're going to have articles we have an executive perspectives series with executives from some of the largest companies in manufacturing. And if you want your ad to be next to them, and they're not pay to play to get there. We're doing these interviews at our shows, at our Rapid Plus TCT event, at our manufacturing technology series. And, these are very influential individuals in the manufacturing industry that understands what SME brings to the market and why they should be part of what we're doing. And I think for an advertiser, there are ways to ROI a print ad, but I think more than anything, that halo effect of being with an organization like SME it's critical.
Yeah, it really speaks. Yeah, you mentioned executive perspectives. So we have an executive perspectives that were launched at I think Rapid Plus TCT in 2024, and now we've done a few more, and we'll continue to do it. But just how integrated SME is overall, and the opportunities with the organization, from that standpoint. And you mentioned, speaking of events, in the August issue is also the FabTech preview issue. And we have a number of speakers from there that are actually going to be in the magazine before the event, talking about some of the highlights of their presentations. So yeah, there's a lot of going on, and even though the physical copy probably won't reach people for a couple weeks, it is starting to get populated on the website, and it speaks to our digital first strategy now, and some cases digital exclusive.
Yeah, and I'd highly encourage everyone to check out advancedmanufacturing.org. We post pretty much daily at this point, whether that's, it's a press release or if it's a full article, that's from the magazine. We're getting as much manufacturing information out there as we can that our readers really want, and all written by humans. As a premium website, as I consider us, and magazine, I do think that is important, even now, as any manufacturer out there knows the importance of AI in our futures, and I don't hide from that importance, but I think there's something about the written word written by humans that is important to me, and I hopefully it always will be.
And not just SME humans, but other manufacturing expert humans. As we know, we can't provide everything ourselves. That's why we have so many different partnerships, and we're trying to get more and more of those voices in the magazine. Another columnist for this issue is Lori Harbour from Whitley, previously from Harbour and Associates. Just the insight that she has and covering the industry for so many years, and really down to the shop level. A lot of our contributors, such as Kim Hansen, have so much experience and connections within the industry. Kip has a regular column in the publication, as does Amy Bryson, who is moving over from Smart Manufacturing over into the MET team as it is. But yeah, definitely want to get more voices in there, more diverse voices, and encourage people. If you have an idea, shoot us a note, and let's see what we can do.
Yeah, we love new ideas. I think that's what's going to help us continue to innovate in both print and digital. Just hearing from our readers, from our advertisers, from our partners to say, hey, have you guys thought about this? And sometimes the answer is, we gave it a shot, and other times it's, oh wow, no, let's see what we can do. Or if you've got an idea for a story, article, reach out to Steve or me, and we're happy to talk. I feel like, Steve, most of our meetings are we're talking to partners. We're talking to somebody who wants to partner with SME in some way. So.
Yeah, and from our staff, we definitely like to get out to not only our own events, but other events that are going on throughout the industry. And I definitely want to give a shout out to the rest of our team. Definitely a team effort to get us here. So Carrie, David, Cameron, Chris, Amy, Sam, Natasha, Libby, Simran, Craig, Philippe, the rest of the sales team, the graphics team led by Brandy and Sarah and Karen, and that really everybody that came before us to build the legacy that we have, and nurtured the platform and the publications for so many years.
Yeah, that cannot be overstated how important that legacy is. I think, for me, I've said this to the team in the past, that while our past is important and our legacy is important, that past, that legacy doesn't necessarily define the future. We get to define that future as a team, working with our audience, working with our partners, and That's that inflection point where we sit today, and I look forward to working with everyone in the future, and yeah, looking forward to hearing from you all.
So you get to define our legacy for the next 30 seconds. Any final thoughts that you want to close us out on?
Just probably, Steve, to echo your thank you to the internal staff. Everybody, to your point, they work very hard getting us to where we are today, and it's a beginning, not an end, and there's a lot more hard work to come, and we're looking forward to what the future brings.
You know, as part of our overall strategy, podcast and webinars, and Jake, what would you recommend viewers do to help support us?
I recommend that you like, subscribe, comment on on our podcasts. Visit us on our website. Share our stories on social media. You'd be pretty surprised how important that is, just the overall digital ecosystem. So please interact with our content wherever you find it. Share it with your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors. That guy you see in the morning walking down the street, whoever, everybody, get it out there. Manufacturing is critical to the security of our nation. So yeah, please share away.
Yeah, thanks again, Jake. And to learn more about the latest manufacturing trends and hear more of our podcasts, visit advancedmanufacturing.org.